Good morning, everybody. So, yeah, Crow's up another 30 massive percent today. Oh my gosh, that's like 3 days in a row we went up over 30%. Has it found the top? We're going to talk about that today. We also have NVIDIA earnings last night and Bitcoin. We just got GDP numbers and it was a beat. The GDP was expected to come in at 3.1%. It came in at 3.3%. And Bitcoin was testing a intraday support, which I was just talking about not more than 10 minutes ago. Well, actually it was 10 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago when the news came out. It was testing intraday support. You can see that it is bouncing a little bit here this morning. Is it going to break out? Right there's your weekly open. And this is the downtrend that Bitcoin is currently in right here. You can see this trend line. Let's get rid of that indicator there. Needs to break out above the weekly open. It has already broken out above the trend line. If we can get above the weekly open, you can see there are going to be many more levels of potential resistance. We got just a couple days left on this monthly range. Obviously, it would be nice if Bitcoin was able to close above the August open. I don't know if you're going to be able to do that or not. Today's Thursday, and the month ends on Sunday. So it does have a few more days to actually get up there, but not a lot of volatility expected for the rest of the week. But yeah, Crow, it's just been on the absolute move since the news come out where Trump media is going to join forces with Crypto.com. Kronos is owned by Crypto.com. It's a $6.8 billion deal. And that has literally just funneled tons of dough back into the Kronos asset. It has been higher than this before a long time ago. You can see that way back in 2021, Kronos hit almost $1, where that was ultimately going to be the top for this market. We have absolutely seen it find support down here and get this rip. Funny enough, there wasn't any volatility or any liquidity in this asset right before the news came out. We were actually looking for this to roll over along with XMR and a couple other weaker assets, but unfortunately that news popped and boom, squeezed all those shorts, and it has been on an absolute tear ever since. Trading this thing has been very difficult unless you have been a buyer. If you have been a buyer for the last 3 days, you have been making money as the shorts have been getting absolutely clobbered. Generally, you don't want to be trying to short something that is unable to even test the 5-minute time frame 200 exponential moving average. If you can't even test that indicator on a 5-minute chart, it is super bullish. And you should not be looking for shorts. On the very first day of this explosive move to the upside, you could see it did not even test it. This was the second day. Right here is where the fresh daily candle opened. And even going into the Asian session, they still did not even allow it to get down to the 200. And boom, up. It has gone. If you're looking for shorts on this, the only thing that I have here as far as levels that you could potentially be managing risk around is an old monthly support here. That's January's closing price in 2022, labeled as old month support. And then there's an old weekly support level also coming in right under that. You can see that acted as support here where it bounced. And then this broke through it. So you're all testing that right now. Next level would be that monthly. And then, of course, 2022's down candle range. So the entire year for 2022 was a bear market. For most cryptos, all cryptos, 2022 was a bad year. You can see the 618 retracement of that candle's range is right above that weekly support level. I took a long on it this morning. I kind of tried to short it the day before yesterday. It didn't work. Yesterday we tried it 2 more times. That didn't work. So this morning I said, I'm not going to short this thing. I'm going to buy it. I bought it. When it ran up above the high of day, I took my trade, closed it, and then immediately entered a very small short position here just because it's been moving up for 3 strong days. Today is a bigger day than the previous 2 days. So looks good. It looks fantastic. It is very, very volatile. If I put my cursor there and then just go up to where we are right now, you are up on the day 43.5%. It is absolutely moving. This little move from right here to where we are right now is 2%. If you can, if you can handle that volatility, then you definitely want to be trading this asset as it is moving. Just make sure that you put a stop loss in place before you take the entry, because as soon as you get in this thing, it is possible that it just simply spikes up and smokes your stop. It is moving so much, and if you apply any leverage to that position, it's going to be difficult to manage it. So just keep that in mind. And then, of course, NVIDIA had earnings yesterday, and this is what it's currently doing right now pre-market. You can see that earnings spike was a big move lower. The actual news on it says NVIDIA signaled a potential shift in momentum after its historic 2-year AI-driven rally, giving a softer fiscal third quarter revenue forecast that came in at about $54 billion, roughly in line with Wall Street's consensus, but below the most bullish projections of over $60 billion. Second quarter revenue rose 56% year over year to $46.7 billion, slightly ahead of expectations, but it also marked the smallest percentage gain in more than 2 years. NVIDIA's stock slipped around 1.6% in pre-market trading Thursday, even after a 35% surge this year that pushed its market cap over $4 trillion. Love you, baby. All right, so yeah, that's what we had on NVIDIA, and then got a bunch of news coming in here. Your VIX is currently setting at 1420. That is a fresh yearly low on the VIX. If you're trying to buy puts, now's the time, right? You don't want to buy puts when the VIX is trading up at $60. You typically want to buy puts when the VIX is trading under $15. USD JPY still trading sideways. This absolute piece of garbage. We did short this up here. It has not done anything since that day. And literally we are paying the longs. Like, it sucks. I hate it, but that's the way it works. The carry trade right now is structured for the longs. The percentage on interest rates is where the spread is. So if you're holding shorts on this, you are paying longs almost every day. It sucks. It is what it is. Maybe it'll break down, maybe it won't. We got on this for dollar weakness, not necessarily in strength. We probably should have taken that trade in something else. Bitcoin has a little bit of resistance coming in with the 21 exponential on the daily. That's up here. That price is going to be 114.7. And then dominance is currently structured a little bit weak today. S&P's bouncing off of Monday's high and the previous week's high. This was off that good GDP news. And yeah, that's where we currently are sitting right now, waiting for the markets to open. And then we took a trade on Tesla. Our trade expiration is going to be in October. And basically all we were looking for it to do is get up here. So we bought the 355 strike. We sold the 360. We're only looking for a 5-point wide spread. May's high is the range that Tesla needs to break out of before you can say that it is trending. It is in a wedging formation, or it's in a 4-month range. Tesla is range bound. It has been range bound for 4 months. Can't really say that it's doing anything until you get above May's high or below May's low. Not really doing anything yet. It has broken out of the pattern. There was a triangle pattern here. Boom. Right there. You can see that it has broken out to the upside. We wanted to see if it could continue that push higher. But we didn't want to expect a breakout above May's high. That's why we positioned the trade for this area here. And like I said, we got plenty of time on that. I think we only risked $100 for a potential to make $200. It was just a way to circumvent the extreme volatility that comes in the form of Tesla options. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we got down in this area. We wanted to see if it made a close under the daily 21. That was the actual, that was the whole plan from the get-go. And then it spent one day under it, and then it finally broke back out to the upside here. So when we put in this move, that's what prompted us to get bullish on the stock. We'll see if it continues to go higher. I do have a year-end target of 390.10 on Tesla. That's your yearly opening range. I think you can get up there by the end of December. So yeah, we have a more near-term bullish bias on Tesla. As long as your closing dailies above the 21, I like it to the upside. We do understand that it is in a 4-month range though. So we are not looking for trending moves on Tesla just yet. Go down to the 30-minute time frame here. You can see that it did hold the 100 exponential. It is my favorite intraday line to watch. If I'm going to look at any kind of indicators, I want to look at the 100 EMA on a 30-minute time frame. It does a pretty, that's the blue line here. It does a pretty damn good job of showing you where that near-term trend is, and it can get you into a nice little intraday scalp. So today on the open, if you break under this post-market support zone that was put in at 345, then you could potentially see a bigger move down to 340. As long as it's staying above 345, I think the upside is being threatened here, especially since we got really good GDP news. All right, and that's what we're looking at. That's how we're starting the day here. Hopefully everybody's having a fantastic week. The week opened up pretty easy for me, so I had a lot of breathing room every day this week, so it was okay for me to throw those useless short attempts out on Crow. Yeah, so that's that. Other big movers in the crypto world, or LPT, it's up 15% today. They did have I don't know if you call it a press conference or just a meeting on Discord yesterday at 5 p.m. Yesterday, going into that, oh wait, it's over here, sorry. Let me go out to the higher time frame, get off the 1 minute, get rid of the moving averages. Come on. All right, there we go. So this is all today. Yesterday, going into 5 o'clock, we actually wanted to be a seller. We were looking for this was like a buy the rumor type of thing, because the news was put out 19 hours earlier. So it basically, when the news came out, was in this area where it found support, broke out. So we thought that going into 5 o'clock would be the best time to look for a trade on it. And if we were going to sell it for, a sell the news type of a trade, we wanted to do that around 5 o'clock. And that trade actually did work. Only it found support right there. So it did work. I did get a little bit out of it, but it just didn't give me the move that I wanted to see. And then that wick right there took me out of the trade. So going into the day, the only thing that I did was, like I said, I bought Kronos this morning and got out of it and then put the short on, and that's all I have open right now. So we'll see if we can find something else to trade here. So that's what I have kind of going on right now. Stop loss is setting just above the entry. I don't give it much room. Very small position size. This thing is moving a lot. So if it drops out of this area or wants to have a day of pullback, then I'll be positioned nicely for that to happen. I wouldn't doubt it a bit if this thing doesn't liquidate my entry as well as everybody else's on the open. So be prepared for that. If we go into the very, very small time frame and look at this, you can see it is not weak. It is not weak yet. I know people want it to pull back, especially the people that love to short assets, but yeah, it's just not pulling back. Let's look at the 15-minute here. So we did make a higher high on the 15-minute. and then closed down. But you're just chopping here. It's clearly still strong. People are still buying it. Lot of interest in this thing right now. Lots of it. I'm talking billions of dollars have traded into this. Let me see what was. I think the last figure. I think the last figure was $11.5 billion. Well, this isn't really telling me anything, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like 11.5. So people are buying it. They are looking for it to continue to rally. And judging by its price action right now, it looks like it definitely wants to rally again. So the moving averages have just been absolutely phenomenal places to buy. All you want to do is wait for it to drop into one of them and then start trading sideways at that area. And that gives you an area to get long. Then you can drop your stop just literally right under the peak. That's lowest swing low. That's the trade that I took this morning. When it got up to the daily high, I exited. There was your day high. So I just simply bought it, closed it as it broke above the high. Just scalping the ranges. It's moving so much. It's giving opportunity like crazy. I mean, that's a 7% move. With 20x leverage on a couple $100, you can make a decent amount of money just scalping in and out of this thing. So I closed that trade and then, like I said, entered the short as I realized that 618 was up there, and that gave me another level to mitigate my risk. So I entered the short on that. Stop the setting right there, and it has moved down. Now I'm not going to exit the short unless it starts to base at the 100 or 200. Then I'll close it and potentially look for the long. I don't know. We'll talk about that when it happens. Right now we need it to base. This isn't a big enough base for me. I like to see the base last for at least 10-15 minutes. We've got 15 minutes until the open. Love it. What's up, Lifestyle Media? Good morning yourself. Good morning, KC, Bravo, Philippe, King Money. Everybody, welcome back. Had a little bit of internet troubles yesterday, but we're doing good today. All is good. Where is the speed test? Right there. So, I mean, it's not the fastest internet in the world, but it is good enough to hold a stream. And then there's not much liquidity up here. Clearly, when you break out into fresh highs, it's not all-time highs, but it's multi-year highs. You're going to get into a point to where it's just hardly any liquidity. So it's just been basing up, smoking liquidity, basing up, smoking the liquidity, basing up, smoking liquidity. It hasn't been paying to be on the short side of this thing for the last few days. We'll see what it does. I was wondering if we could get that GDP stuff. Over 30 minutes ago. Here, I'll just pull it up via the calendar. Easier. Yeah, big move up. So there's the GDP. Big spike up. They were expecting 3.1. They got 3.3. So that's why you're seeing risk markets bounce a little bit here. Fresh yearly lows on the VIX. Once again, it's beautiful when you have fresh yearly lows on the VIX. You typically want to be a buyer, not a seller. Give me 1 second here. I'm not really. Not really ready yet. Let me get Tesla pulled up. We're going to want to keep our eyes on Tesla this morning. Nvidia is all the way back almost to where it started to break down. Let me set that intraday support. Nice. Crow is basing up now, just under the 50. I had like 177k tokens of Kronos, and you don't anymore? Damn, that sucks. Yeah, if you would have had 177,000 tokens, that would have been freaking nice. That would have been a fantastic gain. I mean, this thing's up well over 100% in the last 3 days. Well over. Bitcoin needs to break above the weekly open, 113.4. That's going to be the area of resistance on the day that it needs to break above. It's already finding support at the trend line, so that's good. Dominance is weak, so alts are going to have difficulty breaking down while dominance is weak. It's not super weak, but it is making fresh day lows. The last 30-minute candle made a fresh daily low. Fresh daily low on dominance. So that probably will help Kronos. Move, baby, move. S&P's pushing up the high day. Thank you, my love. Do you need the link? Are you good? Okay. Thank you. You can bring one just in case, because... All right. As the famous Matthew McConaughey would say, let's do this. Yeah. Can't really do anything yet on Tesla. Crypto heat map looks good. What's moving right now? So STSS is up 52% pre-market. MongoDB is up 37% pre-market. NO Holdings, I think this is saying that it's up pre-market. And then your big losers for the day: SuperX AI Technology, Nucleus Incorporated, and Verb Technology. Could be where it closed yesterday. I don't know. I don't look at this thing that often. But as of right now, I mean, it looks, let's see, we can actually look. Pre-market, it's down 66%. Pre-market, Caliber costs up 77%. Top King Limited 56. Get a sip of this coffee. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. Bitcoin, fresh day highs. Look at it go. Bitcoin has not been moving. That's why I haven't been trading it as much. I mean, when you've got things that are moving 2 and 3% in 1 minute spans, why trade Bitcoin? It's on the high of day right now, and it's only up 1.99%. So it's like, you would have bought the open of the day, you would just now be able to take profits on that trade. Whereas on Kronos, you can get in and get out and hit 2%. But you can also lose 2% quickly. Until you break down on Kronos, I think you should probably be a buyer of support. I think that's just until you break down. Like, and breaking down, I'm not talking about put in a red day or anything like that. I mean, you could simply watch where is the day intraday VWAP. Like, if you're under that, then you can look for shorts. I don't know where the intraday VWAP is. I did have that pulled up. Oh, it's because this is the trading view Kronos chart. That's why there is no volume on this. If I pull up the actual Kronos USDT, there's the VWAP. I mean, that's a big move though. I get it. Yeah, it's going to be a difficult short. It's just a lot easier to be a buyer at support. And it is wedging up too. So, I mean, it looks like it wants to break out to the upside again. So I'm probably going to go ahead and close that short, take the money and look to re-enter long, wait for the breakdown, and then try to scalp some downside moves. Just makes more sense. Right now I got $100. I've already made a couple $100 on it this morning. Take another 100, call it. No, I'm not calling it. This thing is moving. I'm not going to call it while it's moving. Here to scalp out volatility. That's what we're going to do. We're going to scalp out volatility. So I don't love looking at this one, so I'm going to look at the other one instead. It shows you the moves better. The other one is so thinly traded. The liquidity is so thin. It just doesn't move like a normal price chart. It's like glitchy and spotty. I like things that move nice and fluid. So like if you were buying this, you would have a limit set at like 37,259 to be buying with a stop just under it. Five minutes until the open. S&P's moving. Bitcoin's pulling back off the top a little bit. Bitcoin has not gotten above Monday's high yet. So it looks like that would be the target on Bitcoin, Monday's high. It's not your week open. Monday's high is just a touch higher than that. So here is Monday's high. That's your weekly high right there. It does look good that it is Thursday and Bitcoin is at week highs instead of at week lows. But can it maintain bullishness or not? Or will today be another choppy day? I can say this much, the IWM, which is another asset that we have a long open in, is gapping up. So that it will put a little bit of upside pressure on ES if tech is bullish today. Then I think Bitcoin could do it. But it is pretty close to where it's been operating on a normal daily range. Like Bitcoin's been moving right at about 2% per day on average. So it does make sense that it would push up to 2% and pull back. What's up, King Money? What are your thoughts on gold? Gold is, as long as dollar is weak, gold can break out. As long as your dollar is weak, you got to be careful if you're looking for shorts on gold. We were short on GLD. Let me pull up the gold chart for you. We were short. We did have a sell side bias on it. But that's silver. So yeah, here we were watching this triangle. It's doing the same thing as Tesla, as you're just in a monthly range. The monthly range that you're in is April. So as long as you're trading under April's high or above April's low, you're just in a range. You're in a 5-month range. You're trading inside of July's range, right? So that's your longer term range. If you can also put a trend line on it if you want to make sort of like, I don't know, a symmetrical triangle. But please understand that, that's not the range it's in. You've broken both to the upside and to the downside of the symmetrical triangle and have gone nowhere since. So clearly market participants are not looking at this or not positioning based on this symmetrical trend, right? They're making trading decisions based on the monthly range that it's in. You can tighten the monthly range up if you want, just by simply looking at June's high, for instance, because June's high is the highest high since April. So, and June's low. So your range is getting smaller and tighter. So what I mean by as long as the dollar is weak, gold can stay strong, because the dollar's doing the same thing as this. It's doing the exact same thing. It's trading in a range, and that's making a lot of other assets trade range bound. This is gold spot versus the dollar. So if the dollar is weak, then that puts buy side pressure under gold. We got in the gold trade when we did the false breakout of the symmetrical triangle. We shorted it when it traded back to the resistance, and then we stayed in that trade for 20 days. It didn't do anything for 20 days, so we got out of it. We were looking for it to break down and get under June's low and then go further and get under May's low. That didn't happen. So we exited the position at break even. My bias on gold is neutral because it's in a range. So trade the range. If you're trading gold, just wait for the range highs or the range lows and look to put positions on then. As far as trending metrics go, like your moving averages and stuff, you're going to look really good. It's thinking about it. It's going to look good. You're above the 21 on daily closes. You're tightening up. If it breaks out to the upside, you could expect a run probably above April's high. That would be the all-time high. Going back over to Chronos, we're starting to see it move lower here. I really want to see it break under that 200 if it's going to be a pullback day. Not really seeing that on dominance or risk markets. Risk markets just made a fresh day high. Your cash market S&P 500. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that in your ear, but cash market is making fresh all-time highs today. This is the SPX. It's the cash market of the ES futures. Fresh all-time highs. The short's working right now. I'll hang on to it to see what happens with it as the market just opened. So I expect a little bit of volatility, but it needs to break under this before I'm like liking it to the downside. Right now it's like you're just hanging on to your seat, red knuckling it, because the buyers are still here. Trust me, these little breakdown moves, they are not big. They are small in comparison. This is the pull in emotion. These moves lower. It's just literally pulling in shorts that they see these big moves like this. They think, oh, that's the top. Get in. Boom. So I need to see something like big for me to think, okay, maybe it's done. And even then, there's no guarantee. Dominance is weak. Dominance is making fresh day lows. Bitcoin not doing anything. So if dominance is making fresh day lows, watch Ethereum here. We liked Ethereum to the upside yesterday. It kind of tried to do it for us, and then it broke down late day. So it did break out, and then it broke down. But you're still overall in a range here. You're trading inside yesterday's range. You did take out yesterday's low this morning or last night, and that's where it found support. On the weekly range, this is what you look like. This is a bullish engulfing or an outside range candle. Typically, people look for continuation off of those. So it makes sense that they came in and bought the lows around the August volume weighted average price. I mean, it's the last week in August, so I expected a pullback, to be honest with you. It's at daily res, but you're above the 21 EMA, so you have to give more respect to the bulls. Dominance making fresh lows here. So if it's not Ethereum causing it, what is it? It's going to be your LPTs. It's up pretty big on the day. Your Kronos is up 43% still. Like, those things are what's controlling the dominance mostly. I'm looking at other cryptos like Bonk, Pingu, not really doing anything. Fartcoin, it's up 4% on the day. It finally broke above yesterday's range. Can it hold that area? If you have a sell side bias on crypto markets right now, Fartcoin, if it's trading under yesterday's high, could potentially be a short. That would be the area that you would want to manage risk from. It's not the best area because, well, let's be honest, this is a potential support zone. But yeah, I mean, dominance is pushing on fresh lows. That could absolutely help some of these things move to the upside. I think I would rather be long Ethereum as it had the best looking setup yesterday. Today, it still looks good. Since the sellers were unable to keep any kind of momentum down here yesterday, I would be looking for longs on Ethereum, and I'd be watching the previous 4-hour candles low right there. You've also got intraday VWAP. So as long as you're trading above that, 45.64 on Ethereum, I like it higher. Your weekly volume weighted average price is just below the daily volume weighted average price. So it does look like the bulls are attempting to buy this and get that upside pressure. And I like the structure. I would like a deeper correction. I would. If I could get a deeper correction, at least down to there, then maybe I could buy it. With the VWAP all the way down here, I could be a buyer as low as 45.55 on Ethereum. Kronos gave you a little breakdown here, but it's not breaking down yet. Not breaking down yet. And then the volume here, let's look at the volume. Point of control, way down here. Way down here. I do like the volume spike here at that weekly support zone, so it's not just me looking at that level. That's that weekly support. Oh. I hate that caps lock button. It always gets me. So other traders are partaking in opening positions here as well, whether they're taking profits or opening fresh shorts. There's a little bit of interest up there, but the point of control where the most volume is on the day range is all the way down here. So really and truly, for this thing to get any kind of downside momentum, you would need to see it break underneath that. And yeah, right now it doesn't look like that. Do you think NIR has a chance to come back? Let's go look at NIR. See what they mean by come back. Oh, I see what they mean. It's not down terribly on the year. It is down. Well, it's down over 50%. That's not even the open, that is. It looks like it's trying to hold support. Right? I mean, this was a breakdown and you didn't get downside continuation from it. In fact, you reversed and went the opposite direction. So it's trying to hold August's open right now. It is late month. Sunday night, you will be able to be a September, like Monday, the 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time candle on Sunday will be your September open. So you can make a decision then. You don't have to make a decision now, today. Wait for September's open, see where price is at. Because if it's under August's open, then it's closing out bearish on the month. Then you can say, well, it closed weak, right? Close the month out weak. If you close above the month open, then you close stronger, and you can tell yourself that, like, well, at least it did close up, right? So maybe September wants to go up. We know that historically, August and September are bad months. Or historically. That doesn't mean it will be this year. It just means historically. I don't even have that pulled up, so I can't even show you, but you know what I'm talking about. So many people have that posted all over Twitter and everywhere else, so I actually like it where it is. So I don't know. I mean, come back to where is the better question. To the yearly open? Maybe. It is forming some sort of a inverted head and shoulders down here, or a rounding bottom, but it still looks like the sellers are clearly in control of this. Just keep your eye on August's open. You're getting real close to a fresh month. So we can make a decision then. We can make a decision then on NIR. There's August's low. So if you get beyond that, then at least you know you're on a 2-month trend lower. Then maybe you don't want to buy it, right? But if it gets down there and rejects, then you could buy it for September, hoping that it goes back up to, you know, the August open or whatnot. But it doesn't look terrible. Doesn't look terrible. There's a nice move lower on Chronos. Nice. It's gonna put the day up a lot better. Looking pretty damn good now. Not bad, not bad. Target taking profit area is going to be, what's that price? 37,240. So we want to take profits. We got to close out the stop first. We're going to take 80%. And then the stop loss, we don't want to lose but like 2. And we want 100% of that to be closed. Not sure why it's saying no. Oh, it's saying that I was... Okay. So let's just do this then. Let's go 200%, 80%, 0, and 100%. Thank you. But let's move this up. We want to move it up. We want to see if it can at least test that open. And that's going to put us right here. Oh, we might actually, yeah, that's where we are. We're good. Our take profit is above that. Okay, so it's going to be the 100. So we want to get out on a take profit right in here. I didn't see that 5-minute 100 EMA. Could that act as support? It absolutely could. You did see a support come in here earlier. This is actually where I bought it last time. I'm going to move it up just a little bit more because $300 is a good chunk of change. Just above that moving average. Because that low is the moving average. So we want to manage the trade the best way. Let's see if it can push down there. 340, that'd give us about what, 220, it'd be about 230, 250, something like that. And then we could think about maybe buying it if it bases up. 283, so that's going to be a good day. All right, good. Let's see if this thing will base up or if it wants to continue. I would add to the short if at any point in time it starts to find resistance maybe, or we can buy it. There's a bunch of things we can do here, but we just got to give it time. We don't want to buy it in front of momentum. Remember, you never want to be a buyer in front of momentum. You want to wait for the basing. It will base at some point. It will make a base. You are severely oversold here on the 1 minute. This will be the first time you hit oversold on the 5 minute since yesterday. And yesterday it still pushed a little bit when it hit oversold right there. Just under the 100. So it hasn't tested the 200 yet. So this would be a good spot for it to bounce because it hasn't done it since it started breaking out. Since it started breaking out, it almost got there here. Just black space, black space. So we'll see if it can even get there now. If it can't, then we'll buy it. But we'll give it time. Where is that coming in at? Roughly about 33,201. But that's going to change with every 5-minute close. That is not the same color, huh? That's it. Looking good. It's moving good. Love it. I love the volatility. Volatility is how we make money, man. Gotta love it. You gotta love it. What do you think on Ethereum, Link, and ENA? Well, I like Ethereum higher, but today it's pulling back. It's pulling back to the area where I said I would like to be a buyer. Right here. So let's see if it can hold support here. Dominance is bouncing off the lows. Bitcoin is pulling back off the highs. That seems to be the issue right now. Because Bitcoin is the ocean. If Bitcoin falls, then most things do that as well. I don't really see, or I haven't seen any news that would cause a significant sell-off. China, nope. Presser HPXL, no. Let me see here. Priority. Flash important. So nothing, no kind of news yet. So Bitcoin's just pulling back because S&P just made a fresh all-time high. It's profit taking, right? Whenever you make fresh all-time high, pull back, it's profit taking. VIX made a fresh yearly low. It makes sense that people will start buying, they'll start buying insurance. People want to protect downside profits, and the best time to do that is when the VIX is the cheapest it's been all year. So give it a minute, see if it finds support. If it doesn't, then maybe we see a pullback happen for another day or tomorrow, the next Monday. But yeah, Ethereum, I like it if it can hold support. It's at the area that I want to see support come into play here. Intraday volume, VWAP. Now, as far as longer term, Ethereum is clearly overbought. It has been for a long time. So, I mean, you're buying the highs if you're buying Ethereum. You're buying almost all-time highs. Right here is your all-time high. Friday, we made a fresh all-time high. So you're literally buying the highs. If you're okay with that, the structure still looks okay. It's once you start closing dailies under the 21 that you have to be a little bit more concerned. It's not the end of the world because the next day, boom, right? So it's just concerning is all. It's a support test. It's a pullback. As long as you're closing dailies above that, then you're in great shape. You don't need to be stressed or concerned. If you start to see massive volatility spike, then you can get concerned. S&P 500 pulling back to the day open right now. So it's pulling back deeper than one would have thought. And US Invest sells. Gold hits fresh 5-week high. It's rallying without big tech's help. So that's what the problem is right now for the S&P. IWM is also pulling back. So if the IWM is also pulling back, then that means the broader market, even tech, is a little bit weak today. Just today. Tesla, look where it tested for support. Oh, that's a 5-minute, sorry. Yeah, we didn't even get down there. I thought it was on the 30-minute chart. I was getting to say, damn. No, it did not even get down there yet. Yeah. Tesla's still sideways. It's trading inside yesterday's range. Looks like it wants to go higher. Apple's pulling back a little bit here this morning. We know Nvidia pulled back. Microsoft also pulling back. Microsoft has been pulling back for several days. Microsoft is pushing into an area of potential support. The near-term trend, though, is pretty strong to the downside. A little bit more than just a standard pullback here, as you've broken under your daily 21 exponential. So now it's the seller's turn to see if they are going to show up here or not. I mean, bouncing off the 50 makes complete total sense. Resistance is currently going to be that swing high. Until you break above it anyway. And on an intraday basis, it's a little bit lower than that. So, yeah. Looks okay, but since your big three are down and IWM gapped up and pulled back, it's putting a little bit of pressure on the S&P. I think that it's testing the day open is absolutely fine. Not the cash market open, the futures open. Right here is your day open. So you just liquidated the pre-market swing low, or the London session lows. You've liquidated that. If you get downside continuation from this point, then maybe we see a deeper correction on these things. Dominance is pushing to the upside here. Might hurt Ethereum. Seems to be still holding support for now. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make you guys dizzy. This is the area that I want to see support hold. 45.65. And then Kronos, is it building in a base yet? No. It's starting to, but not really. It's only, it just made fresh lows here. Keep an eye on this area here. So let me get an alert up. Nvidia experienced a little bit of weakness. So it just liquidated yesterday's high and and the post-market highs. That is so brutal. And then it rolled over. So anybody that shorted did a YOLO play on Nvidia yesterday before the earnings and they thought they were going to be good today. Oh man, that's so disheartening. I hate it when that happens. It happens to me all the time. If you're an intraday trader, that's going to happen to you all the time. That's why you need to manage your risk. But yeah, that sucks. If you were holding shorts on Nvidia from yesterday, sorry. It does look like it wants to pull back here, as it's making fresh daily low after fresh daily low. So it has a lot of downside momentum. Yeah. Ouch. Did it make an all-time high? 184.47. 48. 1 penny from making an all-time high. 1 penny. So close. $46 it says, but it's so close. Too close to tell. Want to see a bigger base here, something like this. We get that, we can take a long scalp on it. If it bounces before basing, then I would like to add to a short position if it can base at a lower high. Potential support here on the S&P. ETH is struggling to make support. It is basing, but I don't love it. Let's see here. Should we try to take a long on Ethereum? I don't want all these stupid little headlines. I just want... I think that'd be good enough, right? Any massive news should pop up on that. All right, so ETH, I'm gonna set a limit buy at 45.65. 45.65 on Ethereum. $45.65. Let's see if we can get a fill. Stop loss will be determined. There's really nothing for us to go by here except for this right here. Let's push it down a little bit. Yeah, that's I think that would be a better fill. All right. So we don't want to lose more than 30 bucks, so we're going to set stop loss at about 8%. $31. We're good with that. All right, perfect. Hey, we're in the position and risk is situated. We just want to see if it can base up here and then start to get going to the upside. Might be difficult with, dominance pushing up. Bitcoin is also testing the bottom of the value area. So it's the value area low. Here's your value area low. I don't love this volume structure on Bitcoin today. I do not love that. Look how thin that is down there. Why is it like that? Wow. Very thin liquidity. So it kind of looks like it would want to trade down into here just to fill this stuff in. Your point of control is at the top of the range. It's closer to the value area low, but that's on a 30-minute. It's going to change if we drop. Well, not really. Wow, this is terrible. It's terrible. I guess it's good on the yesterday. It looks okay. It kind of fills it in, but this is the area we want to see support hold for our ETH long. So if ETH is going to hold support at the volume weighted average price, then that's where we want to be long from. Daily high. Excuse me. It's going to be London session high also. Daily high and the London session high. So Chronos almost got to the 5-minute 200 exponential. Still not basing yet. What Ethereum did is basing. This is basing. It doesn't mean it's going to go up, clearly. In fact, a lot of your intraday scalpers would look at this as being bearish. Not really bearish, but they would. Daily res up here. Yeah, but that 4-hour structure could also hold it. So basically what we want to see is we want to see the buyers show up here to prove that these sellers are wrong. So if it can do that, then we could potentially see a breakout today. We want all these people to be wrong. So we want to see Ethereum hold and put in a 4-hour engulfing. That would be nice. To the upside, there's still plenty of time on it for that to happen. 2 hours almost. Hour 54 minutes. Lexi says, hey, Heath, I remember when you were in CTM. Yeah, I was in there. Long time. CTM's still cranking along. They're still doing their thing. I jumped in the live stream the other day. Irene could be interesting today. Irene. Did you ever see the movie Black Hawk Down? Fucking Irene. It's a great movie. Let's check Irene. Don't know what it is. I've never traded this, so I don't have any idea what they do. The chart doesn't look terrible. It's a fairly new company. It's only been trading for 5 years. Publicly trading 5 years. It could be an old company. It's just, you get what I'm saying, right? Looks great. I mean, it's currently breaking out. It's on a 4-month run to the upside. So it does look good, but I don't want to be a buyer when this is happening. I would rather have been a buyer as close to the open as possible, looking for the monthly expansion. All right. That's why I said, like, It's late August. Today's the 28th of August. August has 31 days. So when we open a new week in the stock market, it will be the September open. But for crypto, that'll happen Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Your September open. So like, I don't want to buy the August highs. I would rather be a buyer at September lows. So any pullback to around 1905, I could potentially be a buyer. But I don't want to be a buyer up here, not on a fresh breakout, because it's actually showing you right now an ability to continue. Now it could, as the market just opened, you've got all day still. Then today could close up in here, right? It could close up in here around 23.50. So it would need to do that for me to like continuation. It's just at resistance is all. So if it pulled back to like $20, 19.50, 19, I could be a buyer. As long as it's showing the inability to break down. All right. And that's Hookin' Irene. Yeah. That's what I would do with it. You bought for like 8 cents. EA pullback in the days and it held forever, but at some point moved on. I get it. You can only sit in a trade for so long where it's like, I'm gonna put that capital to work somewhere else. I hate putting money into an asset and just letting it sit still and not do anything. I would rather it just go down and stop me out. That way I can put that capital to work in an asset that is moving, that is doing something. I'm talking about for longer term holds, clearly, but even swing trades, like 20 days in gold, that's too much. That's enough time. Like, get out of it. It didn't break down. If it was going to break down because of a structure failure, then it should have already broken down, if that makes sense. Like, that's why I exited the position. I gave it 20 days. If the sellers were going to be selling, they would have then. They didn't. That tells me something. It tells me nobody's really interested in selling gold. Not yet, even though it broke down out of an ascending triangle or a symmetrical triangle. They still didn't sell. So, yeah, get out. Put that capital in an asset that is moving in the direction you want it to be moving. Don't fall in love with a trade, a position. One trade, one position is nothing. Don't fall in love with that. Please get out of it. What do you think? Oh, we already looked at ETH. I didn't look at Link or ENA for you. Let me go do that real quick. Just real quick. Link looks okay. It's really good on the month. I mean, it's been a nice month for Link as you expanded from the open and you're still trading at month highs. There's your previous month's high. You're well above it. So as long as you close out the month of August above 2028, then I don't see any reason to get out of it. If you break underneath that, then maybe you should get out of it. And then nice support test of the 21 on the daily time frame. Nice support hold. This is something similar to what we're looking for ETH. It's not the exact same structure, but similar. We're wanting to see ETH give us an expansionary break like this. We don't know if it will or not, but that's how we're positioned for it to do. So a close up in here today would be nice on ETH, right? If it fails to break out above resistance, then I'll close the position. We got our support test, or the test we wanted to see. We wanted to see Ethereum trade down to the VWAP. We wanted to see it base out and start to expand away from that. The problem is now the sellers think they're going to see downside continuation from this little breakdown move. So they're jumping onto it right here, right now, looking for that expansion lower. Will they be right? I don't know. I hope not, but they could be. I don't know what today's going to hold. No one ever does. But for now, our position is okay. It's too small of a position. I realize that now when I'm looking at how wide that spread is for the stop. So it would need to do a big breakout in order for that position to pay anything. I would need to see a massive breakout. And I don't expect that's going to happen because the VIX is only at 1439. There's still no volatility. For big downside moves, you need to see volatility expand. We can look at volatility indicators to see if volatility is starting to expand or not, but the VIX is a pretty significant volatility metric. DXY is breaking down too today. It's currently trading at day lows. So that could help risk markets continue to move up. But they don't look great. I mean, Tesla's struggling here to get anything going. And you're still trading inside well, no, you're not. You're trading under yesterday's low. This is yesterday's low. So Tesla looks a little bit weaker today. As you broke down below yesterday's low, forget about this stuff because this stuff it doesn't matter, right? It's pre and post market. As long as you're trading under yesterday's low, you're showing inherent weakness on the day range. We would love to see it get up back up in here and then start to show us bullish expansion. Then the sellers will have to get out. And that could cause a little bit more buying pressure. Nvidia did find the low on the day, but it's still under yesterday's low. So if you were looking at the daily time frame, you would see a trend starting to happen here. A 2-day trend. You're at a potential support zone. So today will be a good breakdown day if the sellers are able to get it on the pullback. So 179.55 up to 180, maybe even a little higher. 181. If it fails to go higher than that, then the sellers might have it. Okay, so Kronos didn't really get a good bounce off of the 5-minute 200. It still hasn't tested it yet, but it looks like it wants to. I would like to see it get a bigger bounce so I can re-enter the short position a little bit lower. It has been kind of setting in a range here. And then EDA, or ENA, sorry. ENA. It's currently losing August's midpoint, don't really love that. But if it can hold support where it is, I would like that. So this could be resistance, but I do like the fact that the day is an engulfing or an outside candle. Came into support almost, right? The 50 exponential would have been that support or the reason people buying it. There's your last, like that would have been resistance until this day broke out above. That's where your support is. The resistance. Couldn't close above it there. Couldn't close above it there. It wasn't until this day that gave you the breakout above resistance. And you got upside continuation. Well, that's where support ended up holding. It tried to hold a little bit higher than that. Put in a bear trap and go. But I don't like this. Like the buyers should have been able to keep that going off of that signal. They couldn't. So it does look like the sellers have it. So I don't love the bullish engulfing based off this previous price action. So it would really need to be able to close back above the 21 today. That's the level that you would be watching today. And it's an old demand zone. So we can just mark that as an old 4-hour demand. Old 4-hour demand. Doesn't really have any relevance what it's doing today. The relevance is the 21 EMA. So if you fail to break out with upside continuation from this price, this is the price that I would be interested in shorting it from. Now, as far as the 30-minute structure goes, it looks good. 4-hour structure looks okay too. You don't have a death cross on it or anything like that, so it looks okay. It's just a deeper correction. But like I said, this is also a good spot to look for shorts. If it fails, not yet. I don't want to short into that bullish momentum, but you don't really have, well, yeah, you do, to be fair. It looks like it's losing bullish momentum. Yeah. So like, if it got back under this and that acted as resistance moving on today, I would probably be okay with taking a short on this. Something like that. And short, stop. Take profit right in this region. Move, stop the break even. And hold it. But that's only if the buyers are unable to keep it going from this point. Because if they keep it going, you could see another expansion that big. I don't expect that. That's probably way outside. It is way outside of a normal standard move, right? A standard deviation. But yeah. Yeah, see, this is much bigger than a standard deviation, or at least the last 2 days. I would not expect that at all. Yeah, so I could short this. Let's be sure though. Let's not guesstimate. Let's be sure. 6377 is your average true range. 6377. Six, 3, 7, 7. Boom. So this is one standard deviation. It's already moved. It's one standard deviation. A 2 standard deviation move would be a gigantic candle. It'd be like something like that. So the sellers are here because of that fact. Because of that fact. They don't think it can do... Oop. This. And I don't think it can either. Just because of this. But if it does, then clearly the sellers are wrong. Then I would expect upside continuation. We can get rid of this one. So 1.5 times up there. This is August's range. Remember, we fibbed August's range. So this is a perfect spot to put risk on to the downside if it gets up there. Doesn't mean you'll make money. It's just a good spot to put on risk. Okay, so this is kind of basing out here. So now we have a decision to make. Do we want to get long? Bitcoin is still struggling. So are risk markets. Risk markets found support at the weekly open, intraday. But the bounce it got does not look like it wants to see upside continuation. And the VIX is still green on the day at 1545. Not really getting a signal. The ETH long is not working. So we bought ETH down here. It hasn't been an hour yet, but the sellers, they think they're going to win today. A few more minutes, we will have been in this position for an hour. Generally, an hour goes by and price is still trading at your entry. I just go ahead and get out. We're probably getting ready to see a breakdown here. Okay, so maybe we don't want to buy Chronos. If everything starts to break down, Chronos might as well. But if everything could get bullish again, if everything finds support, then I would want to be a buyer on Chronos. Chronos is expensive. It's moved up a ton in the last 3 days. 150%. So looking for more upside would be just basically saying, well, I think the short squeeze is still on. I don't know if you're right. Things start to get a little bit exhausted after a couple days. But I still want to put some risk on though. How small has the move dwindled down to? So there's still plenty of room in this range. If we could get a spike up to 35 and then a rejection, we could throw risk on here. And that would move our entry way down here though. So it'd be a lot more dangerous. ETH almost stopped me out. It almost got me. Looks like the sellers are going to win for now on the near term. Happy Thursday to you, Drew. Nice tunes. What is this? I don't know. I have a little bit of everything in the playlist. A little bit of everything. Do I have any projections on Kronos after a retrace? Well, first we will have to see how deep the retrace is to give projections. Anything can happen, right? It just matters how many people are buying it. Are they still buying it hand over fist or not? Generally speaking, there's no real good technical levels to watch here. You could watch today's midpoint. That would be the first place to watch for potential support. That's down here, right? But that's only on the daily range. So like if a couple days go by and your downside days range is very small, well then yeah, it looks like the buyers are still buying it. Because generally when these things are done, like if they honestly thought that this was just all hype and not real, it would get hammered. It would get hammered. It hasn't gotten hammered yet. They've tried to hammer it. That's why you're up 150% in 3 days. So that is not normal. So it's impossible for me to give you any kind of a price projection out of this. Impossible. This is what it looks like when it's moving normally. Very, very small ranges. When you have normal price action, normal volatility, you do not have that right now. You have the exact opposite of that. You have high volatility. So it's impossible. I can't tell you how deep anything is going to be. The expansion or the pullback. You put in a bearish engulfing, then I'd be a little bit more concerned, but I'm not expecting that. Just give it a few days, see what happens with it. You could look on your higher time frame charts and look for supports. Clearly the 21 on the 4 hours way down here, so I mean, if you get back down there quickly, I wouldn't want to be a buyer. If you put in a 4-hour range over time in this area, right? If you get a bunch of this, then maybe you could still be a buyer on those pullbacks. But until you got time to let this thing go through price discovery, see where support is, see where resistance is, you can't really make any projections. It's still right now in the midst of mania. Gotta let that chill out. What do you think about shorting Solana around 216 to 220? I want to keep that on watch. Wait. Yes, this is moving too. That's a 4% move right there. So this is a fast mover as well. So we already had ENA on watch. Okay. We already have ENA on watch. Oh, I could have just did that, right? Damn it. Yeah, let me just do that. Yeah, I got stopped out of Ethereum. So Ethereum doesn't look great anymore. It's retraced the previous 4-hour candles range. So it's not looking great. If you take this low out, it's going to look bad. It's going to look like the sellers took back over control. There's still 1 hour, 30 minutes left on this close. This is a potential buying op. I'm not going to take it, but I wanted to see support hold up here. It's not yet. But since it's this choppy, the bulls don't have it yet. I was looking at them for the bulls to say, this is wrong, we're going higher, and they didn't do that yet. They could here, but I'm done with this one. $66. No. 67 or 65? Let's go 67. Limit sell ENA 67. It's up 5%. Okay, so CRO gave us our alert. Boom, there it is. So now it's testing the 5-minute 200 EMA. Let's see what it does down here. $67 sell on ENA. All right. Give me 1 second, because this is what we want to. This is what we've been waiting on right here. $0.28. Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but if it's going to hold support, if the bulls are still hyped on this thing, you want to see that support come in quick. The fact that it is breaking under the 5-minute 200 tells us something. It tells us the bulls are not as quick to buy it as they have been. Or maybe just after 3 days, you got massive profit taking occurring. Finally, right? So that kind of tells us what we want to see either way. I wouldn't just buy a random arbitrary price like 28 cents for no reason. Like, there would have to be a reason for that price to hold as support. There's a reason for it to bounce from here, if it's going to bounce. Doesn't look great. But we know traps exist. We don't know that this is a trap. But we'll see what it does here. Either way, playing things to perfection like that is so fun. Because yesterday it beat me up. You know what I mean? Yesterday I took 2 trades on it, lost both trades. This morning I take 2 trades on it, won both. We don't always get what we want, but when we do, it's fun. Because when you mitigate your risk properly, it makes it a whole lot easier to make money long term. So this still has quite a bit of bullish momentum in it. I don't know if I'll get a 67 retest, but we'll see. All right, going back over here. What was I supposed to look up? I've already forgot. VRT data center equip stock. I don't remember reading that. VRT, watching VRT data center equip stock position for 122, testing daily res. VRT, never heard of it. Is that a crypto? Let me just see. It is, but BlackRock killed Luna and took over their business. Gotcha. E&A. BlackRock is in control of E&A. I think this is a stock data center. Oh, not that. Didn't give me a price. 122, got it. Definitely a stock. It looks okay. You're in it from 122, so that's a perfect place. It's moving up. You're up $13 or $11, not bad. It's coming into a potential area of daily res. I don't know if that'll hold, but it looks good. It looks similar to IWM. Looks similar to IWM. I already got that alert on Crow. Yeah, see, it's breaking down and it's giving momentum under it. It's not going to give us an opportunity to get back in heavier, lower. We're going to have to keep our eyes on E&A instead. That one is. But yeah, VRT looks okay. I mean, I don't see any reason to get out of it. Since you're in at 122, maybe get out if you take out today's low or something like that. I mean, just manage the money, manage your risk. That's all you can do at this point. So BlackRock is in this or owns this, huh? That's a nice bounce off the 100. We could take a shot at it here with a tight stop. Don't want it to be too tight, but a 66.3. Dominance is pushing back up. Bitcoin is bouncing. So the Ethereum tested that 4 hour and bounced. 4 hour open. A little bit higher than the 4 hour open. See what I mean? Like, we just came in too hot, too quick. We were looking for a midpoint test. It wanted to go a little bit deeper. And now it's bouncing. If I was a seller, I'd be very concerned with that style of price action. Did we get a fill? We did not get a fill. What the? All right. No fill? What is your problem? If it rolls over, it's gonna roll over without me. It did not fill me. It looks like it wants to go higher on the near term. It's not overbought yet, so maybe we should push that up a little bit. Okay. Got in, got a fill on this. We'll get out on a very tight stop. Very tight stop. So it still looks okay. You're trading well above the previous 4-hour candle's high. So, I mean, I would like to see it stay under that, but it's just the range is so big. But this is about the area where that daily 21 is. It's just looking at it on a 30-second chart. It's so freaking big. It's not that big on this. But this still looks bullish. This doesn't look like Crow. Crow's lost that, right? Boom. The Crow has lost that. Crow is just now putting in some sort of a pullback. If Crow bases out here, I don't know. Nah. I mean, it could. Yeah, that's the whole day's range. So we'll just. We want to keep that separate. Just a technical level. No reason to short that other than it's a technical level. That's it. And clearly other people saw that area and said, yeah, I want to get out there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Absolute gorgeous trade. Absolute thing of beauty. Yeah, I don't like being in it with $37. I wanted, obviously, to catch the downside with more than that. But it is what it is. We booked $283 of profit on it. Can't be mad at that. Made over a little bit of 100 on it to the upside and then another 283 to the downside. Can't be mad at that. Lost $30 on ETH. And now we're trying to make a little bit of money on ENA with a very, very tight stop. We'll see how it plays out. You want to see ENA find resistance up here. It's basing out though, so kind of scary. Kind of scary. This is the 4-hour swing. High, the 4-hour swing high. And this is the daily 21. So this isn't an objective level. This is. I think a better entry on this would probably be higher. Yeah, up in here would be a much better entry. So if you're watching the stream right now, when we end the stream, if the trade hasn't played out yet, like if it just stays choppy and sideways, know that I'm looking for a potential another entry up at 67 cents. That would be like my last line in the sand for it, because at that point there's a potential to be closing the day 4-hour candle above the daily 21, which shows a little bit more strength than weakness. But remember, we're on the outer edge of this thing up here. What I mean by outer edge, I mean inside of what a normal daily range would be, on the top edge of it. So the buyers would have to be rush buying this, either for a short squeeze or because there's really good news out on it. Recent news. The last news that you got that was related to this was August 18. So there's no recent news. So if we could, yeah, I could take another shot out of here. Because if I lose the 26, whatever it is here, and then lose it there, that'd be a $60 total loss on it. If I'm right, I'm going to make a couple hundred. So I'm prepared to lose 60 and make a couple hundred. That's all. So you now have a potential 4-hour supply zone on Chronos. So this level will attract liquidity. Oh, if you're trying to short Chronos because you think it's overextended, this would be the area to watch, because this area will attract price more than likely, based on people throwing limit sells up here. That's right there. That's not very far away, right? It's very easy for it to get there. It's not a guaranteed that you're going to make money if you short it right there. It's just the area on the chart where liquidity will be. ENS is basing out here. There is a 2% move also back up to day highs. So this is a legitimate long trade. Only if your take profit is setting right under the day high. You could buy, set your stop in this area. Take profit would be up here. That's 2%. That could be why price is basing out here, because people see that. You don't even have to make a fresh day high to make 2%. Totally possible. It would help it if dominance would weaken though. So as long as dominance is strong, I don't know that you're going to get that, but so Bitcoin is doing what we said we hoped it wouldn't do, which is be super choppy. It is being super choppy. I mean, piano keys. Sellers thought they had the day here. And then bullish engulfing. Come on. Bearish engulfing next. Then another bullish engulfing. So annoying. Why trade this when this is being annoying when you can trade something that is absolutely moving? Don't know. Tesla broke down, took out support. As far as the position goes, what is it down? It's not down. We're still up. So we're okay on it. We'll see if support does come in here. If not, we'll make a decision tomorrow. We have plenty of time on this trade. Plenty of time. Oh, wait. Here's the trade. We have plenty of time on it. 50 days. We just need it to get up to 360 in 50 days. And if we're wrong, we're fine. We mitigated our risk, right? We can. It's a defined loss. Not really seeing any kind of news out. Starting to think that maybe we should flip our position around on this. If it doesn't roll over soon, probably going to get stopped out on that first attempt. You just gotta think like a trader, man. It's just, there's a clear profit target up here, so that appears to be what is transpiring here. And it is up. It's up 9% on the day. So it is moving, and that right there is gonna take me out. So we'll watch the 67% area. We probably should have, when I said that it was basing up, we probably should have closed it and tried to flip on that long. Because there was a 2% profit target. But that's all right. We'll just keep it on watch. Since I'm not going to chase it. And we can't see the volume on this, I don't think. Yes, we can, because we went to the original thing. There's a lot of volume up here. Yeah, a lot of people are trying to short it. So I still like the short idea. I don't love that the point of control's down there. I would love to see that point of control migrate, but it probably will if it spends a lot of time chopping in this range. Dominance not really pushing up. VIX is red. S&P's broke back up. So things are starting to look up. Though support did hold down here on the S&Ps. VIX did turn back around and started heading lower. IWM is still down on the day around the daily lows. As long as the IWM is down, it puts a little bit of pressure on risk, but not as much if tech is rallying. If tech is rallying, then Apple's up 0.5%, Microsoft's up 0.1%, Nvidia's down 0.9%. Nvidia has found the low of day for now. You're back in yesterday's range. So Nvidia sellers have their resistance marked at 180.09. So any 5-minute closures above 180, they're going to be wrong potentially, at least for the near term. So if it doesn't break down here in the next 15 minutes or so, the sellers might be wrong. So ENA is about to get up to our area. Let's see if it wants to hold resistance. You don't really have that target yet. Yeah. So 2% from there. I would love to see it fall short of that. That would be good. So it's been printing piano keys here on the 15-minute time frame for a while. Over an hour. That's not great news for sellers. Nick, what's up, buddy? You still own Link from 2022 HODL bag. I think a lot of people still holding Link from 2022. Let's be honest. Had to catch on work, so just watch DNA. The reason it could blast out is who runs this coin. It's BlackRock. BlackRock killed Luna and took over their business. I wonder why that didn't get highlighted in orange. That's weird. Also, ENA depends on CRV and Ondo for their USD liquidity. Hopefully bounce off the 50 EMA. Gotcha. DXC, not a crypto. Maybe a good time to buy. DXC. Bitcoin still sideways. DXC. Almost. Yeah, I mean, its structure is bearish. Like, I'm not even going to kid you. Your moving averages are fanned out to the downside. This thing has never gone up. It's only got two, since it's been publicly traded, it's only had 2 up years. That's it. Only 2. The rest of them have all been negative. I don't like this at all. Like, I wouldn't buy this with your money. And I'm not like putting you down or anything. That's just my simple way of saying I wouldn't buy this with monopoly money, right? I maybe it could find support, but this is a fresh breakdown. So it does look like it's potentially done going down for now, but I guess you could say that it does look like it's trying to put in a reversal here. That's the best I could say. That's April's low, and that would have been the point to break down and then show downside continuation. Now we can go into a daily and see what we've done here. So you did break down on the first month of August. You've essentially put in August's on the first day of August, sorry. You essentially put in August's low on the first day of August and then rallied from that point on. It doesn't look like it's got a good lot of bullish momentum here. If you get any kind of major sell side candle, I would just get out of it. If you get something that looks like this for what, 1 day, like it's probably done. But yeah, I mean, if it can hold support at 1370 with daily closes, then maybe. But I don't love it. It's definitely not an uptrending stock. It is definitely a downtrending stock. This could be a short covering rally. Short covering rallies usually don't last very long. We don't know if it's a short covering rally because it didn't spend much time holding or building in support. And seven days ago, it got news. It's maintained at underweight by JP Morgan. So DXC price target cut to $14 a share from $18. So they put in a price cut on it. They thought at one point it could get to 18 bucks. Now they don't think that. Now they think 14. It's at 14. I don't love it. I do not love it. This isn't anything I would want to participate in. I might jump on the short if it just doesn't trade that good. Yeah, intraday liquidity it's bad. So this isn't something that I would buy and hold unless it was just a straight pure gamble. So I missed the entry here on ENS. I'll try it again at 66.7. And that'll be my last attempt on it. $667. Because it is trending up, so it could absolutely get back up into this area. If it gets up into there, then a breakout's possible. If this is going to end up being the lower high for the day, if the sellers are in it, I want to see them start getting some kind of momentum like they did in Crow. Right? Boom. That kind of momentum. That's what I want to see. Since I missed the entry, I don't love the chase. So I got 66.7. If it doesn't fill me, I'm not even going to take it. Because we're getting closer and closer to that 4-hour close. There's 1 hour left. I want to see the bears start to hammer this thing pretty soon. Otherwise, I'm not going to love it to the downside. You're going to have a strong closing 4-hour candle. So it's trending. It's literally trending on a 4-hour basis here on a fresh rising wedge or declining wedge breakout. It's not a great declining wedge, but it is descending wedge, not declining wedge. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a technical breakout here and you are trending up. It really doesn't make sense to look for the short unless it starts to fail soon. Beautiful fill. I dig that reaction if it can go from there. What's Ethereum doing now? So Ethereum is not really getting anything going here. That could be because of dominance. Or when I say that, what I truly mean is Ethereum could be causing the dominance weakness, but because all these other cryptos are still up and they're up significantly. So today's not a bearish day at all. We're just trying to scout momentum. There's your crypto watch list. You got Farcoin up almost 5%. BOEM, Book of Meme token up 5%. STG up 4%. WUSDT's up 8%. Solana's up 5%. Oh, someone wanted to see Solana. Somebody wanted to see Solana. I remember now. I don't remember what your statement or your question was about Solana. Solana looks really good here. This is a fresh breakout. So the yearly opening range retest paid off. Yearly opening range retest paid off. August's volume weighted average price is right there mixed in with the 21. You can see it clearly now. So August's VWAP coming into the yearly opening range was a buying op. Absolute flawless. Good look here. This is what we wanted to see from Ethereum and Bitcoin, right? Break out above and then start to continue. Didn't really see that out of those. They're chopping. Bitcoin's looking a little bit better, but I really want to see it expand, start to expand. It has been doing it, but it's one breakout and then it immediately goes back into consolidation. I don't like that kind of price action because at any minute, the sellers could just hammer it back down again. Like this, boom, 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 right? This is slow, easy moves higher. It's not what I love. I'm assuming a lot of people are trading off that trend line there. I would rather be taking positions off the weekly open. But I wouldn't want to be short on Bitcoin either with VIX being down. Does that make sense? If the VIX is making fresh yearly lows, I don't love the idea of holding shorts on Bitcoin. You should be a buyer of dips when the VIX is low. When the VIX starts to spike and starts to get steam to the upside, that's when we want to be a seller on Bitcoin for that downside volatility. Regular altcoins, much different, right? Much different. We're just trying to capitalize on the fact that they're moving. That's it. We're using what we know about the markets to basically position ourselves to capitalize on the intraday volatility. We're not always right, but as long as we're mitigating our risk the correct way, then when we do get it right, we make money. And the money we make covers our wrong positions, our wrong positions when we get it wrong. All right. Not the kind of move I want to see. I'd love to see some volatility come in here. IWM making fresh daily lows. Well, not really. It's still just sideways. So the IWM opened up and then really didn't do anything. So we opened up on the IWM, pushed down, and then stopped. So it's not enough for me to short it, but it might be enough for other people to short it. So like if the IWM fails here, intraday, then you could manage a short trade from that point. Right? Short, stop, take profit. Something like that. It's not for me. I wouldn't short it. I'm in a long, so I'm not going to close my long out to take a short. And the reason I'm not going to close my long out is because we opened on highs. So tomorrow we could gap up again, right? I might close it if we take out like this support zone, because we're long from over here. So we really don't need to do anything with it until, like, if we take this low out, then maybe we could just say, all right, it's just not working. But it is doing what we want it to do. It just made a fresh higher high today, so I'm not getting out of that. But for anybody that was looking for intraday shorts, I don't know why you'd be looking for intraday shorts. The Fed is expected to cut interest rates, and your small caps are the most interest rate sensitive assets. That was the whole reasoning behind getting long. The fact that the sellers failed here. That's why we wanted to hold that long. Damn you, Crow. Give us another opportunity. That'd be a dangerous short, wouldn't it? Like, it can't even get up off the 4-hour lows. That's how weak it is right now. Not weak, it's still up 22% on the day. So please don't get me wrong here when I say weak. It's this stock, or this crypto is not weak at all. This baby is strong. Also entered E&A. Depends on CRB and Ondo. Read that. I'm looking at 28 cents on Crow, maybe. Hopefully bounce out to 50. Can you check Link? We did look at Link a little bit earlier. I can go look at it again. I have no problem with looking at it again, as you might not have been here. It looks okay today. There's not anything that I would want to do with it today. You're up on the August highs. So here's your open right here. That's your August low. So if you look at the range of August, you're up near the highs. So it looks great. This is the end of August also. So right now it looks okay. The 21 exponential was a buying op on that. It hasn't been on others, but on this one it was. It worked. So if you got long down there, then just keep holding it. It's going in the direction you want it to go. Would I short this? No, not really. I wouldn't love the short. Link isn't a super fast mover. It's up nicely today, though. It's up 7%, so it does move. It moves better than Bitcoin. Like, the reason I'm even trying a short on ENA isn't because I have a short bias on it, right? Because technically, structurally speaking, ENA isn't bearish. If you go to the daily, like, you're not bearish, right? Moving average structure bullish. They're all fanned out. So it looks bullish. The reason we're taking it is simply because we think it's moved about as far as it will move today. That is it. We're just looking for the bullish momentum to wane. I could say the same for ETH. Like, I wouldn't be, or not ETH, but Link. I wouldn't be a buyer today on Link, because it's probably moved about as far as it's going to. But with that being said, the short trade on Link isn't there either, because you could just trade sideways for the rest of the day. So I wouldn't be expecting a big breakdown or a big breakout. I would expect a lot of this. And that's kind of what's going on with ENA as well. Right? We're not breaking out. We're not breaking down. Not yet. And we did get the last bit of volume that we're going to see on the day right through here. So it does look like a liquidation break as you made a fresh day high and then rolled over and put in this move. So that's the reason why we're looking for the short, because we think it's already moved as far as it's going to for the day. And now we're starting to see a little bit more of that downside momentum come in, right? I was willing to risk $60 total to prove that the buyers were probably done. We lost $30 on the first entry, so we put on another $30 on the second entry. I could close the trade right now and have made $30. I would be up on the trade by $30. But I didn't take the trade to make $30. I took the trade to make a couple $100. Because small wins, we look for small wins every day consistently, and we know that those will build up over time. And we're pretty good at getting them. We're pretty good at analyzing these here markets. Unfortunately, we can't predict what they will do. We can only, take our shots. But as far as Link is concerned, I think longer term it looks okay. But you just asked me to take a look at it. You didn't say what you were doing with it. You didn't give me a timeline. You just said, can you look at Link, please? So since that is what I can do for you, I would say it looks okay. Like, my strategies tell me that as long trend following strategies say there's no reason to exit this asset if you bought it anywhere around the open of August. And my people that follow me, they know that's what we do. We look to position ourselves potentially around monthly opens. So if we would have bought Link around the August open, we would still be holding this trade. There would be no reason for us to exit it. Now, if you break down below here, then there's a reason, right? Then there's a reason, because if you bought it here, then at least you will have made that much money on it. That spread. This spread right here, from the open to here. So there is no reason to exit it as long as it's trading up in this region, because it could still continue to break out to the upside. And looking at this kind of price action right through here tells me that there's a higher potential for an up move than a down move. That doesn't mean it will go up. It just, right now, the way it looks better for upside continuation longer term. For a day trade, I would have been looking at a short around the top. But that doesn't, not on this. Like, there's no technical reason to look for a short up here. No reason at all. Maybe if I would have been paying attention to last week's close, then maybe, yeah, I could have shorted it based on that. But I didn't do that, so there's no reason for me to try to take a short on it now, if that makes sense. But if it would have been a trade, like if you would have wanted to short it early on in the session and I would have caught that, then yeah, I would have said, yeah, absolutely, you could try to manage your risk from that point. Seeing how it's probably already ran as much as it's going to the upside. Unless news comes out. If news comes out, that trumps technicals. When there is big news on something, you do not try to jump in front of that and short it. Absolutely not. You will get knocked out. You will get chronosed. Right? You will absolutely get ran over. Think about people trying to short on this day, then the next day, then today. Like, absolutely wrecked. That was big news, legitimate, good news. If that news is going to carry on in the future, this could go way up. We don't know where it could go. If it's going to attract $6 billion fresh dollars into the asset, right now the market cap for this is $11.5 billion. We don't know how much of that money has come in the last 3 days and how much is left to come in. I haven't really read any of the fundamentals on it, but if there's a projected, $3 to $4 more billion getting ready to come into this asset, then assume it will find support. Yes, it will likely find support. Buyers is what causes prices to skyrocket. Heavy demand. So I don't know though. I would need to break down like the figures. We know there's 11.5 billion in there. There was an 11.5 billion in there the other day, but there is now. How much more money is projected to come into it over the next how many days or months, right? That all that will play out in the future. The fact that this news came out late August, it's anybody's guess as what it does in September. Anybody's guess what it does going into next month. Only time will tell. But yeah, you sold short around 216. Did I even answer that or did I start rambling on something else? Solana short 216-ish. So Solana looks okay on the daily. I don't love it for a short. Let's go see what you're looking at 216. Well, I don't see it yet. I don't see the reason why you like 216. I really don't. It's because that's the weekly high. No, I don't like a short there because if it's pushing back up there, it's probably looking for a higher high. So this isn't an expansion bullish candle. You're well above your weekly 21. Well above it. You're above the yearly opening range. So long term, for your yearly trend, you are making fresh, 3-week highs. You're above July's high. You are trending to the upside right now, today. Okay, so that 216 is the daily high. It's just a daily swing. It's not even a weekly swing. It's this week's swing for now. Today's close will be important for Solana moving forward. I wouldn't just short it because it's the day high. Nah. It probably has moved as far as it's going to move today, unless news comes in. And then if news comes in, technicals don't matter. You could see a massive spike, much higher. As long as no news comes in, then it'll probably just trade sideways for the rest of the day. But as far as what does it usually do in a day? Well, we can look at our ATR for that. It'll tell us the exact average true range. It's 1370. And it's moving higher. Notice that. Your average true range is trending up. So the ranges are getting bigger as prices are moving higher. But as of right now, the average true range is about $13. So let's see, from low to high, have we moved $13? No. Oh yeah, sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. Yes. Okay. So you have moved, according to the average true range, you have moved 1 standard deviation today. If it's going to move 2 standard deviations, then you're going to get stopped out. But, okay, maybe it runs out of steam and pulls off the highs. Maybe. I wouldn't short it just because of that. Remember, why am I shorting ENS? Because of that, and what else? And what else? The 21 EMA is up here. The daily. Right? That's why. Or ENA. That's it. That's the only reason why. Because the structure on the daily time frame is weaker. It's still bullish. It's still up. And this was a bear trap. Look, you broke down below support. The near-term support. This last candle, you broke down. So on this day, you were showing downside continuation. Today, it blew up. So even though I'm short, I'm probably on the wrong side of the market. If Bitcoin gets strong today, and if you see a big breakout on like ES and all those other things, this is probably going to stop those shorts out. More than likely. You're going to stop those shorts out. So as long as you're above yesterday's swing high, shorting it isn't the best trade to make. I'm up on the week, I'm up on the day, so I can afford to throw out a little bit of risk to see if I get a move in my direction. But even though, look, there's 28 minutes left. This candle's still up. Like, this isn't weakness. Not yet. We would like to see that, but it doesn't look like we're going to get that. So for Sol, no, I don't think I would take that short. Not today. It just... You haven't even liquidated the high of day that you put in at 9:30. Okay, so yeah, you did liquidate the high of day. You had a high of day from the London session. So yeah, it might roll over a little bit, but if it gets back up here, would I take a short? Hell no. Because it's going higher if it gets back up here. It's probably going higher. Gotta be careful. You want to short things that are weak or at least have a technical reason to be short. Just because it rejected up here does not mean anything. It rejected up there because it was a liquidation above the previous swing high. So as far as your daily range is concerned, you're still very much up near the highs of day. You're still very much up near the high of day. So in theory, a pullback all the way down to here could be a buying opportunity today. It doesn't look like it would be. Obviously you would have a lot of bearish momentum to get all the way down there, and then it wouldn't look like a long. But in theory, as long as you're above this, the threat is still to the upside. Because of the daily structure, where the 21 is, where the weekly 21 is, like all of those technical factors say that this is stronger than it is weak. Short, weak stocks, short, weak cryptos that are weak, do short those, not strong stuff. This is making higher lows. It's compacting into the highs. It literally looks like it's trying to break out to the upside. This is not a short. Not a short. We have assets we can short, that we can look for shorts. Fartcoin isn't the best one to short right now because it's so far away from the daily 21. Still, it had such a massive down move on Friday. It's going to be in price discovery until it finds resistance. And there's a big chunk of change in here for it to find resistance. You're at the end of the month, so this is probably just going to cool off until September. Then we'll see what happens next month. Let's find one to short. Okay, so the structure on LPT, still not a short. This thing's just going crazy. It's not trending. It's just super volatile in both directions, up and down, up and down. Jasmine is a short. Jasmine is a short as long as it's maintaining daily closures under 0.01611. That's your August VWAP. We're coming into a new month, so this will come over to September and start fresh. But as long as you're closing dailies under that price, then the pressure is bearish, not bullish. Above that, you're back to up, back to being bullish. So for bears, we want to see this area hold as resistance. So Jasmine could be a short, not where it is today. Well, actually you could short it, but I would want to see it like reject after taking out Tuesday's high. Then that would give me an anchor point to put my risk. So if it got up above that, then started to show rejection, then I could short it there, throw a stop up here somewhere, and see what happens. But where it is right now, there is no short to take. The best short would be a rejection off the 21, which is what we're trying to do on ENS right now. The problem is, or ENA, the problem is ENA is structured bullishly overall. Okay, there's a potential short here on STG. Oh, damn it. I moved an August open. There. Shouldn't have moved that. So right here is your daily 21 exponential. You've already liquidated the previous day's high. You even tagged that, so you've gotten rid of any inefficiency, which that wouldn't be an inefficiency, but inefficiency is like some kind of new big buzzword in YouTube land, thanks to the inner circle guy. But I mean, if it was an inefficiency, it's been closed up. Big spike. Huge spike. Way above everything it needed to go above. Virtually impossible to manage risk off of something like that. But at least now you have a level to watch. The highest 30-minute closing candle in this sequence of price action is all the way over here. So 1752. As long as you're not closing 30-minute candles above that, you could have been taking a short into that. You're not into anything up there. Weekly res. Let's see where that came into play. It didn't come into play today, yeah? No, it didn't. So yeah, you're way below that. So you're weak on the weekly range, right? You're weak on the yearly range. You're under the weekly 21. You're under the weekly 50 on the RSI. Like, these are things that I would much rather you guys look for shorts on. You would have better luck. And it doesn't always work, because when shorts bail out of these things, it causes massive bullish rallies. So I'd want to see the shorts hammering it back down again. They were there for Friday or Monday. So I would want to see midpoint check, get rejected. We're seeing that. That would have been a short op. And then we can tighten that risk down just by simply looking for the highest bullish close for an area to mitigate that risk. That this would have been a short, regardless of how the 30-minute structure is, just based on the higher time frames. I hope you're starting to see a pattern. Like, when I'm looking for shorts, it's usually on the weaker assets, unless there's just a lot of volatility in it, like Chronos. Then I'm just scalping little ranges of the day. I'm not looking for a bearish bias. Just simply scalping it because it can move a lot in a day. That's the opportunity, because it's moving. That's the opportunity. This really isn't moving. It's moving per normal, like there's no news on it or anything. So as long as it, has more than a 5% or roughly at about a 5% daily move, if that's on average what it moves, then it's a candidate. So that's barely a 2% move there. So it's not even a real big mover. But it would have been a short op. Short things that are weak. Please. Short things that have weakness are showing weakness. If the rest of the market's up, but this market's bearish, why? There's a reason. Because the shorts are winning. Sol ain't there. Sol just bounced off the yearly open test. Like, this was a buying opportunity. I would have said, as long as your closing dailies above the 21, I would be a buyer at support on this, not a seller. Be careful trying to short strong assets. You will make money here and there. You will get lucky. You know what I mean? Like, every now and then you will get it. You get in a short and then it'll work out. But that's what's causing you to continue to make those bad decisions, because you remember when you made money, when you shouldn't have even taken the damn trade to begin with. But you made money then, so now you have that mental, that blockade that just keeps you making bad decisions. You keep shorting strong assets just because you want to short something. There is no technical reason to short Solana. Even Bitcoin has a better technical reason to be short than Solana. Bitcoin is literally, I would rather you short Bitcoin than Solana right now, because you are closing dailies under the daily 21. Now, the moving average structure is not bearish, but you are weak on the month and you're a little bit weak on the daily. You are not weak on the weekly. This is consistent with a pullback only, not weakness. But it's still closing dailies under the 21, so technically you could look for shorts at swing highs, as long as you're pairing that with an objective level of resistance. The weekly open, for instance, that's an objective price point. So as long as it is showing resistance, you can short it. All right. Bitcoin did exactly. I mean, this is so sideways and crappy trading. That's why we're not trading it. Nice bullish engulfing off of that, and not quite a bearish engulfing next. That's what we said. Theoretically, that would start to piss people off. It did that. It's literally just chop, slop. We want to stay. Ooh, Ethereum actually broke down there. So Ethereum has now started a trend on the daily. Could find support at the open of the day, though. Be careful. I don't even need to put a new level up there. I can just grab one of these. I don't think I mean, I don't know if I could be a buyer there. Yeah, I could. If it holds a support, I could absolutely be a buyer there. Or at yesterday's low. Because you're still above the weekly open here. The bulls are still in control of this. They've just lost the daily range today. So hopefully that helps our E and A. Starting to look good here. Yeah. So that was a perfect fill on that. Boom. It's starting to work. It's starting to work for us. Risk 60 to make a couple hundred. We're almost there. We're almost there. Good day, good day. Like these good days. Link is finding a little bit of resistance on the near term. It's probably going to be dominance keeping people from buying. When looking at session volume profile, does the point of control just show? Yeah, that's all it does, my friend. The session volume profile just shows us where the most traders are, right? It's not the most buys or the most sells that we're even looking for. It's where the most trades took place, the price at which the most trades took place. So in the day's range on Link, most of the trades took place at 25.67. Most of the trades took place up here. So this was traders literally trying, it was profit takers taking profits and new shorts opening new short positions. And heavy shorts, like heavy profit taking and heavy short side, because that's a huge spike in comparison to what you had earlier on the day. So you can see this big volume spike right here too. Right there. So earlier on the day, it looked like the buyers were in control, because they were earlier in the day. Oops, sorry. This will change as the day goes on, and this will also look different on different time frames. Perhaps the smaller time frames, it's good. The reason it takes longer, well, it shows up there too, but sometimes it just takes long. You got to wait for the close in some cases for the higher time frames to adjust. But if you do the bar replay, like say back to here, well, I don't even have to go back further than that, but let's just see it. Watch it play out. See, there goes your shift, right? You saw how that shifted down. So the near-term sellers would see this spike and think they're on the right side of the market. They would be expecting downside continuation from this point, and a lot of it, not just a wick below, a lot of continuation. They would be expecting the daily expansion to give you another measured move, right? Something like this. Play it out. This is around 6 o'clock in the morning, so your New York traders are coming to the desk here. You're seeing volume build up, and what are you not seeing? You are not seeing a breakdown and downside continuation. So at the very minimum, you would think to yourself, well, hold on here, right? Don't really know if it's going to be a down day or an up day. Now it's showing the ability to trade away from the level, away from the daily low. This is your daily low. People that shorted up here and new sells that took place down here want to see downside continuation. The closer and closer you get to 9:30, the more and more you should probably think to get out of that trade, because you're not breaking down. And the most volume of the day is taking place down here. So the way I would have done this is I would have simply said, if this thing doesn't start breaking down really, really soon, I'm probably going to have to get out, because I'm probably wrong. Boom. There you go. Okay. So now everybody that was short here, they've been smoked. And they got smoked in 5 minutes. Done. You see a lot of this garbage here. That's because it takes time. But now you can see them profit takers. Anybody that bought here, those guys are now exiting up here. And we know that to be true because we can see this volume spike. So all of these new bullish entries are now exiting positions. And now new short sellers that were waiting for 9:30 to come and go are now starting to enter into new short positions. So now at this point, if it finds support at any point, if you're short, you have to be concerned, because this can cause another squeeze higher. But you can simply look at the day's range from low to high, go out to the daily time frame, see where your average true range is, and if you have moved way more than, say, you normally do up, then you're probably safe. But if this exact formation ever shows up again in the future for you, and your average true range on a daily tells you that link is moving between, let's just say, $5 a day is your average true range right now. Well, it's only moved up $2.40. So there's an additional $2 it could move up. And this liquidity will help it do that. However, if it's moved up $2.40 in the ATR tells you that $2.40 is the average true range, then you're probably safe to take a short with this kind of structure, because you've already moved what is expected to be moving that day. Does that make sense? And here we are right now. So we can simply do what I just said, go out to the daily and pull up the average true range. That's volume. We don't care about volume. The average true range on Link is $2. So when it put in that spike, it was actually 40 cents higher than what it has been moving. That's going to drive profit taking. It's literally going to cause people to take profits. Anybody that bought down here at the open, which is why people were buying down there, right? There's your open. There's daily support. There's another daily support down here, but it's just the day open. So going back in time without playing the bar replay out, remember that big point of control that was down here? Why was it there? It's the daily open. So people were literally buying the open. And then price repriced higher because, well, demand. Boom. It starts to go looking for supply, and then it finds supply here at the expected range on the day. News can absolutely cause massive spikes. So like if you go look at Chronos, for instance, and we do bar replay back before we got the news. Let's kill the moving averages. We don't want to have to think any more than it has to. So we'll pull up our average true range here, and you can see that it's 9/100ths of a penny, right? So 952 is the average true range. 952. How big of a day's range is that? Roughly about there. So if you were looking for shorts on the next move up into this, that's about as far as it would be normal to move. Okay? This isn't the right asset, so I can't show you volume, but up in here is where we would expect the high to be on a normal day. No news. Boom! Look at that. That's when the news came out. So if you're expecting the normal volatility to give you a price move up to 16,382 and you see a candle that looks like this, are you going to short that? Hopefully the answer to my question is no. Of course not. This 1 5-minute candle is a bigger move than what is expected to happen all freaking day long. It's a more than double. That's a 2x standard deviation move, and that 1 5-minute candle exceeds that. So of course you're not looking to short this, but everybody did. Everybody did. They piled on. They said there's no way a 4x move is going to have upside continuation to it. No way, right? 1, 2. I could do that 5 times here. That's a 5x move in one day. So all the short sellers jump on. And it literally provides this thing with the liquidity needed to start a short squeeze. That's why you stay away from it. And if you are going to short it because you think for whatever reason it can't go any higher, you're only risking $20 or $30 to do it, right? You're not risking $5,000 to see if you're going to be right or not, because you're probably not going to be right. You can use these simple things, to put you in better, like give you better odds to make your trades work out more frequently. I mean, yeah, the point of control is a very important tool if you know how to use it. I am never taking a short at the point of control. I just want to see where the majority of people are. And, you know, other factors will go into the analysis as far as, well, do bulls have control of the price or do bears, yada, yada, stuff like that. But it is a very useful tool to keep you out of bad situations. Very bad situations. Now, at this point of control, would have migrated up here when price was doing this, then yeah, I could have put on risk there for that. Because we already know this is going to be way outside of a normal standard deviation move for this thing. A normal standard deviation move is crazy small. Like these are your normal day ranges there. And then you look at today's, it's like 10 of those. You know what I mean? It's massive. It's already had 2 huge days. I would have much rather felt safe shorting it up there. Had the point of control migrated, but since it didn't, I took profits quick, right? Yeah, it can help. It can help. So right now, I wouldn't be a buyer on this because it's basing up down here, just because it's moved so much today. But this is just out of control. This is out of the normal realm. News can definitely cause things to go higher than you think they can go. But you can use the point of control to help guide your decision-making process. Like if it's going up and it starts to build up, like this is in the middle of the day, for instance, then you could probably buy this over here, right? So it's not on the highs. at an objective level. So nobody's really, you see what I'm saying? Nobody's really taking trades up here based on that level. So there's no reason for me to short it. Now, this range is already much bigger than normal, but it's smaller than yesterday. Yesterday's range is this big. Then on a support test, can I justify getting long here as support? Just saying, well, if it moves up as much as it did yesterday, then it's a profit-taking area at best. That's a 14% move. So I would have just traded for here to there. That's a 5.75% move. So that would have been legit good enough for me to jump in along here while it's basing at a potential support, knowing that if it breaks out above this stuff right here, that could force it higher because of all these stops getting burned. Boom, there it is. See what I mean? You can use it to help guide decisions. Yeah, it's a very useful tool. Volume by time for me is irrelevant. It doesn't really help me. The only way it helps me is if like I'm looking for a breakdown or a breakout move, like say it's basing here and all these moving averages were underpriced, like it was forming support at support or even resistance, for instance. So I can see that the point of control is right here. And now the moving average structure has shifted. It's only on the 5-minute time frame, mind you. If you look at this thing on a 30-minute or an hourly, you're still at support. Now, no professional trader is going to buy this expecting it to go back up there based on its normal moves, because there is no news on it today. But we know that there's a lot of people trading this because of these 2 days here and today. So we know a lot of people is trading this, but there isn't any new news on it. So what I could do is I could say, well, if we fail right here, then I could potentially look for shorts at this area. But I want to see price get up here and then fail. I don't want to see it get up here and do this, because then it could be heading back to the upside. But if it gets up in here and like fails, then I can manage my risk here, looking for another move lower, but just a little bit below this point. Not expecting it to go down here, just a little bit lower than that. Remember, you're only trying to make a couple percent, so you don't need to. This entire range is so big. To the downside, that's a 33% move. Like, Jesus. If you could short this and just get it back down to this area, that is a good probabilistic trade. Just getting back in the range would be a 6.6% move. So I could absolutely look for a short. If it fails here, I could add risk on, stop right there, target right here based on all of this volume. Not just the point of control, but all of it. Like there's a ton of volume in there. And that's why these things go sideways for the rest of the day. You've got intraday traders that make a living trading these things. It's our job to make money inside of this day. Here are my ranges of opportunity. That's why assets chop sideways once they peak. Once you make low day and then expand up, set high of day, your expansion is done. This was the expansion. You're not trying to look for that anymore. That's already taken place. At best, you're going to allow the ranges to set themselves, and then you're going to look to operate inside of those ranges. Because we're going to expect this to trade sideways for the rest of the day. Because of so many people still participating in this thing. There is still opportunity in this. Anybody that's buying here, they're probably only looking for it to get up to there. And then the best rule of thumb that I tell the people that are in my community is wait for noon before you start looking for reversionary trades. This is a reversion style trade. So right now, here is your range moving forward for the rest of the day. These 4 areas. So now that the mass amount of volume has already came and gone, probably not on the 5 minute, but like if you get a pretty good overbought region on your RSI, and you've got resistance, this is the day's VWAP, the white line. That's your today volume weighted average price. You have an objective price level right here being that 4-hour swing. Whether it's a 4-hour open, a 4-hour high, a 4-hour low, 4-hour close. You have an objective price to watch and an indicator. So if you get overbought and you're into resistance, then you could look for a scalp and set your profit target just a couple % away and get out of the whole trade. And then just wait for an oversold at an objective level, and then look for your entry. Look for it to go back up and then get out of the whole trade. Like just scalping the ranges that are set for you already. There's plenty of opportunity. The problem is people are always trying to reach for too much. They'll buy here and they want to see a 50% move, so they won't take profits. And then they won't get that move, obviously, and then price rolls back and comes back and stops them out, and they're wondering what they're doing wrong. There's a lot of stuff you're doing wrong. Your expectations are too high for one, and two, you just don't understand volatility. There is so much volatility in this asset today that these moves are much bigger than you think. So each time you take a loss and you try to jump right back in it, you're taking another loss. By the time you do that 1 or 2 or 3 times in a day, you've lost several $100 without even realizing it. Our E&A short not working. So Probably going to bail on that. Probably going to bail. Even though dominance is up and a good spike up, this is doing the opposite of what we want to see. The opposite of what we want to see here. I wanted to see this roll over. Clearly, people are still trying to buy it. Yeah. Yeah. People are still trying to buy this, and they could win. There's your point of control. Now, you've already moved more than would be normally expected, clearly, but it's not out of the realm of possibility because this thing moved that much just Monday. So this looks more like a long than a short, but I don't want to buy it up here. But from now on, for the rest of the day, instead of trying to short E&A, we should probably be looking to be a buyer. Just because of how much that moved up. So you never even hit oversold through here. Even though you pushed down and made a fresh swing low. This isn't a fresh daily low. Your daily low is all the way down here. So it's not a day low, it's just an intraday low. You made a fresh intraday low and immediately moved to the upside. It would probably behoove us to be looking to be a buyer at support, not a seller for the rest of the day on this. So I'm getting out right now before I lose any money on it. Everything's going against this to move up. Look at dominance. Dominance, big spike up here. Fresh day highs. This was the day high. That's a fresh day high. So E&A should be weakening, not strengthening. Bitcoin's pushing. That's giving cryptos, alts, a little bit of a bid here. See? Yeah, we should have bought it. It's okay. It's okay. It's not done. We still got a lot of time today. I'm going to close the stream down, but I would be watching support. Now, if it closes, if it starts trading and making fresh lows, then you got to be careful being a buyer. That's an up close. We wanted to see a bearish close. We didn't get the bearish close. So forget trying to sell this. This thing could absolutely break out to the upside. That's your daily 21 exponential, so people are buying it. It looks a lot different than Chronos. And even Chronos is starting to catch a little bit of a bid here. We can get rid of that because the 5 minute has already shifted lower. But yeah, you would have a hard pressed time getting me to short anything now that Bitcoin is starting to move to the upside. Because Bitcoin is getting ready to do something. It's failing to break down. It failed to break down yesterday too. It's still very much got resistance up here, but yeah. I would just revert to trading into the mean or reversion to the mean strategies going on for the rest of the day. I wouldn't be looking to short scalp highs or whatever. Day highs, looking for shorts for these things to break down and go into death mode. Because they're all bullish. Everything is, the markets are bullish right now. You're making fresh lows on the VIX. All right, nasty 4-hour closure for ETH. Yeah, ETH does look worse than these others, but yeah, it's even a breakdown. It's just sideways. I agree with you. It is a nasty close, but I don't love that reaction. Your shorts are going to pile into it right here. They're going to look for a midpoint failure. Your daily VWAP is there as well. So if you're above this, it's going to be a difficult short. Failure up in here, maybe continuation lower. If dominance, this is going to have a big effect on dominance. That's why dominance was breaking to the upside with Bitcoin strength as well. I mean, Bitcoin's range bound. You could try shorts at the weekly open, but not on things that are breaking out to the upside. This is breaking out to the upside. So you got to be very, very careful looking for shorts. It doesn't take much volume to cause moves like this. If we were right, it would have just, rolled over and kept just printing fresh lows, but it didn't. So done with that. This is a good day though. We've already booked over $300 of profit on the day. We're in good shape. Or I'm in good shape. All right, you guys have a let me look at Glass real quick. Glass F, but I gotta remember it's 1S, GALAS F. I don't love this. I don't know why people do. There has no intraday liquidity. If this is a Bitcoin treasury play, then that's the reason you're so into it. I don't know what it is. Like Glass House Brands, never heard of it. It's above the yearly opening range, so that's good for it. It is trying to put in an up move here. Will it break out and make you rich? I don't know. Hopefully it does. I don't like the chart. It's not something that I would trade. It doesn't have enough liquidity. Like, it would be so hard to get filled on this kind of price action. As long as you're long from lower, just keep holding it. It looks okay. That's about all I can say for it. It isn't anything I would ever trade for any reason. I don't care if it is a Bitcoin treasury or whatever. It really doesn't matter to me. This thing is disgusting. Looking for a breakout is what it's looking for. Looks okay. If it is a Bitcoin treasury play, then as long as Bitcoin starts going back to the upside, then you're in good shape. Right? You are trying to partake in that instead of just buying Bitcoin or a Bitcoin ETF because you're expecting a massive breakout. It's possible. If Bitcoin holds fort, breaks out here, gets back structured bullish, then yeah, we could see it trend to the upside. The VIX is trending down. As long as that is the case, then I like it higher. Tesla broke down pretty good today. So it did break down and it did give you downside continuation. 322 is the max pain on this for a close this Friday. So we were expecting a bit of a pullback. How deep that correction goes will determine whether or not I close this position or not. But the position is only down $9. So $2. I don't need to sweat this yet. I still have 50 days for it to go up to 360. So I'm still golden. And we did see a nice little move on the IWM to the upside also. Not quite back to the open yet, but it still did give you a little pop. Which is what we want to see. We want to see upside continuation on the IWM. Cannabis company in California. Gotcha. Okay, yeah, I mean, it looks good. You're trading up at monthly highs. That's never a bad sign. If you're holding for long-term gains, long-term growth, it looks like it can continue. If it rejects last month's high, then you need to make a decision on if you want to hold it or not, right? Last month's high. Just keep watching that last month high. If you're above it, leave it alone. If you break back under it, maybe then take some profits and look for a new support to re-add. All right, guys, you have a fantastic rest of your day. Make sure you all trade safe, trade smart, and as always, happy trading, everybody.